now Western Michigan, and I think this could be a cool one. I think this could be a sneaky MAC team, Andy, and you're not. I don't think you're giving them the credit they deserve.
Yeah.
The problem is, I thought it was going to be like I was looking at their off season and seeing the additions they made and who they lost, and I'm like, I like this team a lot. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to go slap this over 5 wins right now. It's at 6.5. I was like, are you kidding me? So like
it's a little high to me.
Way high, but like it's high for a reason. I like the team, so I agree with it being at 6.5. I just wasn't expect. Oh, let me go grab the graphics. Let's get some Western.
They had a weird situation this offseason too. Their coaching.
Go ahead and let them know what Western Michigan did last year.
Yeah, this team was 4-8, 3-5 in the MAC. They didn't make a bowl game. Lance Taylor's back for year 2. They're ranked 7th in the conference preseason. They lost both their coordinators. One of them left to be the D-line coach.
But I want to say about the coordinators, and I feel you might probably don't need to mention this. They left on their own to take better opportunities. They weren't fired, and I feel like that's. It wasn't like I feel like a firing is like dysfunctional, and they leave means like other organizations like what they're doing.
That was part of it. Another thing is the guy that's their DC right now, Scott Power, wasn't supposed to be their DC. They hired somebody. He left 3 weeks after taking the job to go be the D-line coach at Michigan State. Scott Power, this is very low on their defense, mainly because of him. He got fired at La Tech because their defenses were that bad. We might have talked about him the other day.
We did talk about him.
Their defenses were that bad. He got fired, and they had no other choice but to hire him. So I'm not really high on their defense at all.
But hold on. They do... All right, so hold on. We'll get to the defense. We'll start with the offense. So let me turn the slideshow on so I have the graphics rolling. Okay. I like him at quarterback. Hayden Wolf. If you don't know who that is, he was there last year. He took over the job mid-season. Not that he was particularly great, but he was okay. And what I like about him, he's coming into this season as the starter. 30 career starts, or I think it's 29 career starts under his belt. This is his 5th year. A lot of he was a on-again, off-again starter at Old Dominion for 3 seasons. Not many teams in the FBS have a quarterback that has 30 career starts. So one of the most experienced quarterbacks in the FBS. Got to like that. Going into it, they get both their top running backs back, and actually their third running back, his name's Keyshawn King. He was hurt and missed most of the year last year. So they actually get their top 3 running backs back. They lost 2 starters on the offensive line, but 8 of their top 10 offensive linemen on their depth chart are back. So the offensive line should be good. In fact, Phil Steele says should be one of the best offensive lines in the conference. So we got probably the most experienced quarterback in the conference in Wolf. You got one of the best offensive lines in the conference. You got top 3 running backs back. Come on, tell me that's not a great start. That's like what you're looking for in college football. That's a lot of what you're looking for. So Western Michigan is going to score.
100%. Their offense, I love Buckley being back, a 1,000-yard rusher. Not a lot of teams bringing back 1,000-yard rushers either. Like you said, veteran quarterback. Their top receiver Womack is back. That's great. They're bringing back a ton on offense. Their pass blocking, rush blocking was solid last year. The offense is very.
I kind of want to argue with you about the defense a little bit, though.
Okay. So look. For me, it's more. I mean, they weren't very good last year on defense, regardless. But a lot of a lot of the lower MAC teams weren't, obviously, because this is a good quarterback conference. But it does scare me when you bring in a guy who has a track record of being bad to the point where he got fired at a La Tech, being what they are, maybe a little bit of a better job, being fired there and then being forced to hire him. They didn't want to hire this guy, so this wasn't the defense they necessarily wanted to run.
No, it's. Okay, so I can't argue with that. The defensive coordinator this is like technically their third option. So like this is not the DC they wanted, and I hate that. But as far as personnel, I mean, they added some pieces on the defensive line in the portal. They brought in a kid named Popeye Williams from Louisville. I love that name. They actually added 2 kids from Louisville on the defensive line. They brought in a defensive lineman from Iowa, Ontario Thompson. So they added 3 Power 5 defensive linemen through the portal here. They're pretty much returning everybody as far as the linebackers and secondary. They're returning most of their starters. Also, I think I want to bring this up on the screen because this is what I think you forgot to look at. I think this is what people are overlooking when it comes to Western Michigan. And let me pull it up. So I'm going to put it right up on the screen. Boom. So here is Western Michigan's schedule from last season. Who's not on it, Andy?
I'm sorry, what? Who's not on it?
No Kent State, no Buffalo, no Akron.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They didn't play any of the easy
They didn't
teams.
play any of the 3 easy teams from the MAC last year. Now let's switch over to this year. You got Akron at home, Buffalo, Kent State at home, all in a row. That's 3 wins. So that's 3 wins. So take their season last year and then substitute 3 of their MAC games out for Akron, Buffalo, and Kent State.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that
definitely didn't look at it that way in terms of them now playing the 3 worst teams. That makes sense.
They got unlucky with their scheduling last year. They got Akron, Buffalo, Kent State all in a row. That's
makes when you look at the schedule, that does make sense. That's a way to look at it.
And you got Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah, they've got an 0-2 start, and then
what's this here? I don't know anything about Marshall. I saw you were looking at Marshall today.
I wrote toss up. I literally looked at everything from Marshall, and I'm like, I feel the same way I feel about Western Michigan about them. Like, they could be this, they could be that. They have a young coach too, Huff. I literally wrote toss because I have no idea, and so that one. Win. 3 in a row. Western Michigan, and then they're probably going to be value at an all-time coming off 3 straight wins, and there might even be a pick 'em against NIU, and we're going to take NIU in this game. Yeah, I got 2 I got 3 losses back to back there actually. I think on the road at Central Michigan will be a rough one.
No, they can win this
in November.
They can win look, it depends on the weather. If the weather's nice, I'll take Wolf over Emmanuel any day of the week.
Yeah, but I don't think Emmanuel is going to be throwing the football much when it's cold. They're going to be running the ball.
That's what I'm saying. If the weather's somewhat decent, I'll take Western Michigan money line in this one.
That'll be a weather. We'll have to check the weather app that day. For sure.
And then a win against
It'll be
Eastern
a snow
Michigan.
game now.
So how many definite wins? 1, 2, 3,
I've got 5.
4, 5, 6. Oh, you don't have Ball State as a one.
You have 6. No, I have Ball State as a loss actually.
Oh, wow. So you're going definitely under.
Yeah, I got 5-6. I have 5-6 on 1. I think they'll be 6-6. I'm leaning towards them winning that game against Marshall. Be a tight one.
I don't know enough about Marshall and this is what sucks because I like this team a lot. I hate their schedule.
That number sucks.
I mean, look
that
at
number and the schedule is not great.
Can we just we should just already start at week 3, 0-2, because at Wisconsin, at Ohio. Are you kidding me?
Time out.
Don't
look ahead spot for Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
They got a game. Look at who Wisconsin plays.
All right, let's see.
Who's on their schedules?
South Dakota, bro. How's that look at?
No. It's the week after.
Yeah, but this is the look at spot.
No. That team's looming.
They know
that. So wait a minute. They have a team that's easy next, right?
Then that's not a look at spot. In fact, Western Michigan would be a tougher opponent than South Dakota. Well, actually, South Dakota's kind of nice, but this would be
South
a tougher.
Dakota sucks.
No, South Dakota State.
They know that. They know that next week they're gonna have an easy one against South Dakota, and then obviously
that's
Alabama.
The opposite
looms.
of a look at spot.
Western Michigan could be one of those. That could be one of those MAC games. A MAC team is going to pull an upset. If there was a team that was going to pull an upset, who would be the one for you? This would probably be the one for me. Western Michigan to pull an upset against. They're not beating Ohio State, but they're going to beat South Dakota. But yeah, they're not beating Ohio State, but they're beating. Could they beat Wisconsin? Sure. A MAC team's going to pull an upset. That's all I'm saying.
All right. So that's it. That's the last one. We got 2 more MAC. Tomorrow we're doing 2 more. The last 2 MAC teams, and we're doing 2 independents, UConn and UMass.
Oh, yeah. UMass, baby.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Let's have ourselves a good one. Tomorrow, some better MLB action. Tonight.